Hi, in this video I will offer a short tutorial on how to calculate elasticity using the point elasticity formula and what kind of answers you can get using elasticities. So let's look at an example. Suppose you run a company that offers tax services, and for convenience let's suppose that we will calculate the demand for your services just in hours, so number of hours of services that you provide. And so quantity will be measured in hours, and we will say that it's a linear function of the price that you charge and also the average household income in the region where you offer your services. And the function is 500 minus 15 times price per hour plus 50 times average household income measured in thousands of dollars. And for instance, let's say you charge $50 per hour for your services and the average household income is $65,000 in your region. First of all, let's calculate what the quantity demanded is. To do so, we need to take the demand function and plug in 50 for the price and 65 for the income value in order to calculate the corresponding quantity demanded. So let's do that. So replace price with 50, income with 65. So 15 times 50 and 50 times 65 would be the operations that you will need to perform. And if I got everything right, the corresponding quantity demanded should be 3,000 hours. So that price and that particular income, quantity demanded is 3,000 hours. Next question. What is the price elasticity of demand at that particular point? So we're not calculating price elasticity of demand at abstract. We're focusing on one particular point where price is 50 and quantity is 3,000, and we want to know how sensitive is the demand function to changes in price at that particular point. To do so, we can use what's called the point elasticity formula that simply says that the price elasticity of demand is going to be the slope of the demand function times that particular price divided by that particular quantity. So when I talk about the slope, I mean the slope in front of the price variable, that particular slope. So I'm going to take that slope of negative 15. That's how your demand responds to changes in price, measured in hours per dollar, multiplied by the current price of $50 per hour, and divided by the corresponding quantity of 3,000 that we just calculated, and that will give me a value of negative 0.25. So the own elasticity of demand at that point is negative 0.25, which means that every 1% increase in price corresponds to a 25% reduction in quantity demanded. Similar question. At that very same point, what is the income elasticity of demand? The income elasticity of demand works exactly the same way, except for it measures the response of quantity demanded to changes in income rather than changes in price. So we can apply exactly the same formula, slope times income over quantity, but now we'll be looking at the slope in front of the income part of the demand equation. So we're going to be looking at the slope of 50 rather than the slope of negative 15. So 50 times the income value of 65 divided by quantity gives us the value of 1.08. So the interpretation here is that every 1% increase in income corresponds to 1.08% increase in quantity demanded. So for these two variables, price and income, we can calculate the elasticities by taking the appropriate slopes, negative 15 for the price, 50 for income, and multiplying them by the variable divided by quantity ratio, price over quantity for price elasticity, income over quantity for the income elasticity. And this is how we will obtain the elasticity values for these two variables. Final question. Say next year you expect the income to increase by 10% and you also plan to raise the price of your services by 20%. How would the quantity demanded be affected and how would the total revenue be affected with these two changes? Well, this is where elasticity comes in handy. Let's recall that every 1% increase in price corresponds to a 0.25% reduction in quantity. Every 1% increase in income corresponds to a 1.8 increase in quantity. And now let's just scale those changes. Remember, income is going to be increased 10%, so we'll have a 10% in income, 10% increase in income. Price is going to be increased 20%, so we need to scale the changes in quantity by 20 and 10 respectively. So we need to multiply 0.25 by 20 and 1.08 by 10, which will mean two things. A 20% increase in price will result in a 5% reduction in quantity. A 10% increase in income would result in a 10.8% increase in quantity. So overall, the corresponding change in quantity will be a reduction by 5% from a price increase, an increase by 10.8% from the income increase, so the overall change is going to be an increase of 5.8%. What about total revenue? Well, we have our shortcut formula that says that the change in total revenue is approximately the sum of the change in price plus the change in quantity. In my example here, the price is going to be increased by 20%, so the change in price is 20. Quantity, as it turns out, is going to increase by 5.8%, so the total revenue will change approximately by 25.8 or roughly 26%. That's about it. Thank you.